cars and trailers. Caltrans and CHP crews are still working to clean all of this up.
Welcome guys, my name is Scott and right now I'm up in my cabin and there was a crazy flash flood up here. So I want to show you guys kind of what happened to my stream. Not good. I posted a couple of videos building this thing over time and luckily the three main waterfalls are still intact. But if you go ahead and pan to my right, you can see some of this crazy ruts that were created from this flash flood. And the water flows down here and then the stream used to keep going into this pond. You can kind of see the outline, but the pond is completely full of mud that flowed. There's like a little sucker here that puts it into the tanks. And I mean, it's just completely buried. And we can walk up here a little bit. This all, I mean, there was like a little divot, but it was never like an actual cutout in the ground. And you can tell by looking at my neighbor's fence here, how much dirt actually got moved. They installed this fence like a year or two ago, and it did not used to look like that. You can also see this pipe got completely uncovered, kind of as the water came down. It's hard to tell in video how deep some of these ruts are, but it's pretty crazy. I mean, some of them are like a foot deep and it just like was not there before. So I'm gonna have to recover a lot of the pipe and then dig out all of this bottom part, which is gonna be hard because there's a liner. I don't want to puncture the liner with a shovel. So I'm gonna have to dig it out carefully. But before we start doing something like that, let's go look down here at this damage. So this was all gravel, this whole thing. All these sprinkler pipes were underground before. It's crazy. You can tell how deep it got here. I mean, it's like, it's nuts. Just rip this liner right up off the ground. Kind of see the flow of water came this way. It's nice and grassy now though. It's never had this much grass. Big drop off. And then this is my road I built, and the part we're walking around right now kind of got washed out. It used to kind of wrap up and around. The stream kind of just took it away with it. And here's all my gravel. A lot of our gravel down here. This stuff is not really super natural to the area, so you can tell that this was from my road. Goes around the tree here. And this is kind of where the stream ends, goes across the road here. And we'll walk down and it flows all the way across, I think. This looks like it got a lot deeper. Running down the hill in flip-flops. Yeah. Oh, here's my bar. Just kidding, it's not mine. And this is about where it all ended up here in this big riverbed. It's kind of cool. Kind of want to walk this a little bit and to see if anything cool got washed up here. Where nature hits civilization. So they say, if you're ever in nature, you gotta follow the creek and eventually you'll hit a road. I hear running water though. Let's go investigate. There's some water, that's kind of cool. Big pipe. Go fishing. Anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna walk all the way back. Here we are at the headwaters. That was a lot of walking for a guy in flip-flops. So I'm thinking we'll just start with the bare minimum, just dig kind of like a slot trench to the drain there and do whatever we have to do up there and then turn it on and let the water do some of the work. Okay, I got this dug out a little bit, about a foot down, and my inlet is like right here. But I think it's under this, maybe. I can't find it. Here's the end of it. It's like completely full. Okay, now that we found the inlet, I want to try to find the rest of the pump. There's a big access panel right here. For everybody else's knowledge, this used to sit like 2 to 3 inches above the ground level. So you can see how much is built up. It's harder to tell in the video, but it's a lot. And these filters are usually pretty clean. They are completely full. Oh my goodness. Luckily, these kept all that stuff out of the tank. For context, for people who've never seen one of these videos, basically I have like a 70-gallon underground tank, and then like a 50, a 50, and then 2 more 50s, and then the hill that way. Basically, so this pond is always dry when the stream's not on, because we don't have any fences around here about someone drowning in it. But now it's not looking so good. So I'm gonna try to, there's a lot of dirt. There's like a 6-inch pipe from this to there. I'm gonna try to pry it through into the filter, then clean it out. Now that we got this dug out generally, I think we're able to turn it on. The pump in there is like a big sewage pump. It's pretty beefy, it has a big metal prop. I don't think it's gonna be hurt. But I just need to dig out a little further upstream by that tree and just make sure I keep the water going down the stream up there. Okay, let's try it. Oh yeah, it's nice and muddy. Let's see how this does. Looks like it's managing so far. Fix that. See what happens here. All right, it works. Now I just probably need to clean out the filter like 25 times and it might be all right. First filter change, let's see how we did. Oh, it's not even that bad. Let's run it again. Funny feeling we're gonna have to do this a lot of times. That's a bigger haul. That looks a lot better. Got that part all dug out. Kind of just washed off some of the rocks. So it's starting to come together. Let's go check on up here. So this is the last part where we dug that little trench. But I don't know what it's doing. I think that's what's making the water really dirty. It's just all that water running through the dirt there. But hopefully it will clear out. I'm gonna let this run for a long time and we'll see what it looks like. I let it run for a while today, and you can see this is what it looks like dry. Turn it back on here in a second, but not too bad. Definitely looks a lot more natural down here. It's very into the hill, a little bit too much, but turned out pretty good compared to how it was earlier this morning. So let's turn it back on, and that'll be about it. I got mud on my shirt. Anyways, we finished. It looks a lot better than it did this morning. I was pretty doubtful I'd have this running again today when I first looked at it, but we got all this dug out, got this little part back in operation, and it's not as pretty as it was a month ago before the flash flood happened. There's a lot of dirt in it, but it does look a little more natural on the upside. So it's gonna take a long time for this thing to just kind of run and get all the stuff out of it, but looks pretty good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do have other videos in the stream, so I'm gonna go check those out, or I'll see you on a different one. See you next time. Goodbye.